Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor, and I am the STEM career coach here at AMU and APU. Today, I will be presenting information on breaking into the cybersecurity field and just some ways to help you begin preparing to enter into this industry. Our focus will be on building foundational skills, obtaining essential certifications, and gaining practical experience. We'll discuss the importance of hands-on projects, internships, and volunteer work in developing your expertise and making you stand out in a competitive job market. This presentation is designed to provide you with actionable steps and strategies to help you start and advance in your cybersecurity career. Let's talk about self-reflection and why it matters. It's important to engage in self-reflection and research when getting started in the cyber career field. Self-reflection helps you evaluate your interests and skills, such as what aspects of cyber appeal to you, what do you enjoy doing in your spare time with cyber, and identifying your strengths when it comes to this industry. The role of research and career planning is just as important as that self-reflection. Understanding the various sectors within cyber helps you identify where your skills and interests align with industry needs. It is essential to research those job roles, the required skills, and certifications to make informed decisions on the route you plan to pursue. And to do that research, I encourage you to look at open job announcements, read through what they have listed, what are the commonalities that you're seeing, get on some professional forums, which we'll talk about later on, and identify some of the important skills and experiences that you're seeing, as well as LinkedIn, possibly following some of those hiring managers and employers and looking at what it is that they seek in those competitive candidates. Additionally, researching those potential employers gives you insight into what these organizations value in candidates to help you prepare and working toward becoming that competitive candidate. So looking at their website, looking at their social media, this gives you insight as to who they like to help, who they're protecting, and what their company's mission, vision, and values are. So this is going to be really important information to know when creating materials such as your cover letter and tailoring it, or you're creating your answers to interview questions when that time comes. So how self-reflection and research guide your career path, it really is creating those specific career goals, knowing what it is that interests you, seeing what you're finding in that research, then helps develop what those career goals are going to be. Also based on the job market, because you're going to find that information in the research. So these are two very necessary steps to take for that career preparation, identifying what your interests are, your skills and experience, and doing the research on the industry. What is out there? What's available to me? By reflecting on your current skills and experiences, you can then better determine how they translate into those cyber roles, which can then assist in narrowing down that career path to leverage your existing knowledge and experiences. Additionally, to best prepare for a career in this industry, it's also going to be essential, again, to research those job titles, those required skills and certifications to be able to make those informed decisions on that route that you plan to pursue, and also as you plan to grow within this field. So let's talk about understanding cybersecurity roles. Understanding the various fields within cybersecurity is also going to be essential for shaping your career path and goals. Key areas within cybersecurity can include, but are very much not limited to, could be information security, ethical hacking and penetration, digital forensics, and so many more, as you can see listed here on this slide. Because there are so many roles in cybersecurity and also industries, as it seems to be in every aspect of our lives now, I encourage you to identify 3 to 5 areas that genuinely interest you to help simplify your career planning process. Identify where it is that you are wanting to take your skills, or places that you're going to want to work, or roles that have the daily tasks that you're going to enjoy doing. It's important to research the roles and responsibility associated with each area, as well as the types of organizations that hire professionals in those roles. Additionally, keeping an eye on career growth and industry trends will also help make those informed decisions about your path, similarly to what I was just discussing in that self-reflection and research component. So consider your skills and interests when evaluating these potential careers, taking the time to align your preferences with the right field that will help you stay motivated and succeed in your cybersecurity journey. So knowing which area of the cybersecurity industry you want to work in is going to help with your focus and your research efforts more effectively. So as you pursue a career in cybersecurity, it's essential to identify, again, those industries that are actively hiring those cybersecurity professionals. And these key sectors and industries can include, but again, are not limited to financial services, healthcare, retail, and of course, the government. Understanding these industries can help guide your career path and inform the type of experience that you might need to require because it's going to vary depending on that industry. Healthcare is going to have different needs in the retail sector. So this is where reflecting on your background, experience, skills, and interests becomes very valuable to you and why that's the first step in that career planning process. For example, if you have experience as a security officer in retail, but you're looking into moving into cybersecurity, well, looking into retail cybersecurity can then allow you to capitalize on your existing skills and experience, as well as your knowledge when it comes to the retail world. It helps you to then translate those skills and experiences in your cover letter, your resume, your interview, LinkedIn profile, ePortfolio, whatever it is that you're building and doing to showcase your knowledge, skills, and abilities. So that is something to keep in mind. What do I have now? What's my previous work experience, or volunteer experience, or personal professional development projects look like? And where can I translate that into to help me get started, get my foot in the door in this field? By researching where cybersecurity opportunities are available and aligning them with your career goals, skills, and experience, again, you can better assess any additional skills, experience, or certifications that you might need to gain. So depending on that background experience that you have, you might have already filled in some gaps. So now it's assessing, okay, what else do I need to get? Where am I at now to be where I want to be here in the next 6 months, in the next year, in the next 5 years? It's important to not only understand the jobs and companies you're interested in, but to also identify those opportunities in the area or any potential relocation destinations, because being aware of industries and demand and opportunities available in your geographic location can significantly impact your career options. So it's going to be vital to understand that jobs, roles, and companies are going to be different in the Washington, D.C. area than it will be in Montana. So understanding where you're at geographically and knowing what the typical roles and companies are and that's going to be available to you when entering this market, because that's also going to play a part in that job search strategy when entering into this field. So understanding your geographic location in correlation to these industries and those job roles that you're interested in is going to be an important step to take with that research. Landing an entry-level role in cybersecurity can often feel like that catch-22, as many positions do require 2 to 5 years of experience, and that is entry level. Now, this is not saying that all companies do this. There are some out there that hire with very minimal to no experience and train as you go. However, typically on average, it's 2 to 5 years of experience. This creates that challenging scenario where you need experience to gain that experience. However, there are effective strategies to break this cycle and build your practical hands-on experience that these employers are looking for. One of the most valuable pathways to gaining real-world experience is through internships. Looking for opportunities with tech companies, startups, or nonprofits where you can apply your skills in those practical scenarios. Even unpaid internships or short-term contracts can provide essential experience and help you boost that resume. And then consider offering your cybersecurity skills to local organizations, community groups, libraries, nursing homes. So understanding the safety component behind technology is going to be really important to educate those in the community. There's nonprofits or even small businesses that you could consider volunteering your knowledge and skills to. So that helps you build up your experience hands-on, build up that network, but also give back to the community. Volunteering allows you, again, to apply that knowledge, solve those real-world problems, while also, again, expanding your network. And if some of those more formal opportunities are not as available, or they're competitive, or that's a route that you have or trying to take, but are hitting some roadblocks, some other ways to gain that hands-on experience is starting your own initiatives. This is just as powerful because it's going to show that you're passionate and dedicated to the field of technology, and more specifically, cybersecurity. For example, you could potentially launch like a cyber club or community group where you organize workshops, develop community awareness campaign to educate local businesses or at-risk populations on cybersecurity best practices or how to protect yourself against cyber threats. maybe you create your own hackathon sessions or events where you bring people together who have similar interests. There are ways to start your own initiatives, and there's a lot of skills behind taking on those initiatives that you would continue building up, not just necessarily those cyber skills. There's a lot more that goes behind it that employers and recruiters will value. And then with that, you're taking on that leadership role that helps demonstrate that initiative, again, helping you develop those technical and leadership skills. Additional projects that you might consider creating something like a home lab to simulate network security scenarios, practice ethical hacking techniques, maybe building a web application or program website with some security vulnerabilities, then document that process of identifying and fixing those vulnerabilities to just demonstrate that you are skilled within that specific area with securing coding type practices. And then when working on personal projects, again, it's going to be important to document all the way through to showcase them on tech platforms, your ePortfolio, LinkedIn, wherever it is, so that way you can capture it. And you can link such as an ePortfolio on your resume for employers to see some of the work that you've done. This not only highlights your skills, but also demonstrates your capabilities to these employers. Another way to gain experience and really more so exposure is by joining professional organizations and actively participating, whether it's by organizing events, creating your own organization, or maybe even just contributing to a project with a professional organization. You can then provide that valuable experience and make those connections. So by actively pursuing some of these different strategies, it's a great way to get your foot in the door to get started in building and gaining that relevant practical experience. And then certifications are going to be vital for launching a successful career in cybersecurity, especially at the entry level, as they validate your foundational knowledge and skills. So it's going to be really important to consider getting a certification in the area that you're looking to launch your career in. So starting with entry-level certifications demonstrates your commitment to the field and helps build that strong foundation. For example, CompTIA Security Plus is a fundamental certification covering essential topics like network security, compliance, threats, and incidents responses. So it's ideal for roles such as security analysts and network administrators, providing that comprehensive overview of cybersecurity principles. So this could be a potential certification to look into that is typically considered entry level. And then networking, it's going to be vital in the cyber field, offering opportunities to exchange ideas, build those relationships, and uncovering career prospects. By engaging with industry peers, you position yourself as an expert and increase your visibility, ensuring you're hopefully at the top of mind when new opportunities arise because you're getting yourself out there, you're showing off these projects, you're part of internships, you're talking on different forums, you're getting connected with other professionals in the field. So it's going to be really important to have a strong network to help enhance that opportunity. So enhancing your network, how do I do this? Attending events like virtual career fairs. Here in Career Services, we host those several times a year. This is where you can connect with employers that AMU, APU, we've built relationships with these company recruiters nationwide. You have platforms like LinkedIn, and we also have a mentorship program here. So there are various different ways of getting connected and beginning building that and leveraging your professional network. I want to thank you all for joining in, and I would love to hear from you. Feel free to get in contact with Career Services by reaching out via email or via phone. You can also submit a form through the eCampus as well. Would love to get connected with you. Thank you for listening in.